good evening and welcome. Welcome to Rangers Radio. Join myself, Foxture, on the panel this evening as the one and only Bridgman and Big Ulster. How are we doing, gentlemen?
I'm not doing too bad. How are you, mate?
Well, Bridgman.
You're a bit undecided there then. Can I just say a big good evening to the boys in the panel here and to all the boys in the lobby, a big good evening, and to all the Rangers fans all over the world listening in. Good evening and welcome to Rangers Radio.
Right, let's start with the important stuff, Bridger.
Go for it.
Right, I'm going to put this link in the lobby and ask everybody to think. It's a long time before the closing date is the 31st August. There's a link in the lobby, and I know we always give to charities, and there's always worthwhile causes going on at everything at the Rangers family, but this is one of our own. We're on Old School Blues doing his bit for charity. So anybody that's got any shekels free, please give generously. I'll be sorting out, and with a few quid coming for this household, Terry. Great on you, son, and I know how much I've seen you try to prune your hair when we were in Portsmouth, so it's your pride and joy, and you're getting it shaved off for Macmillan cancer in memory of your father. So fair play to you, Terry. That's the important things, Bridger.
Yep, I agree with you there. I just looked at it, and I know the length of his hair, so I can just imagine how heartache that's going to cause when it comes off, you know. A great cause.
Well done, Old School Blue. Anyway, Ulster, what are you thinking?
Oh. Well, we're through. I'm feeling a lot happier than what I did last season when we were put out. But yeah, overall performance wasn't great, to be honest. We'll go in depth in it, obviously, but just first quick reactions. Obviously, I was hoping for a wee bit better performance-wise, but we're through to the next round, so I'll not complain too much, but a wee bit underwhelmed, let's just say. A wee bit underwhelmed.
Underwhelmed, I like that. More questions than answers for me, but we'll dissect it. Give us your initial thoughts, Bridge.
I said last night I would be happy with a 0-0. As long as that team didn't score a goal against us, I'd be happy. A 0-0 suited me fine, as long as our defence played well, which they did. And I think even our defensive midfield, to a certain extent, played not too bad as well. So the goalkeeper, excellent. Two really good saves tonight, and a massive contribution to the game for us. But we weren't under that much pressure for big chunks of the game or anything like that. But we dealt with everything. The two central defenders are very good, particularly Godson. He's really, really good. So very happy. I think, obviously, we need our forwards and attacking midfielders, they need a wee jolt and maybe a bit of competition in there might bring them all to their senses. And heavens above, did we not miss some good chances tonight? There you go.
Yeah, I mean, the boy who came on, how am I going to pronounce his name? The boy who came on for, the boys on loan for Liverpool, Ajara, is it?
Ajara or Jari?
Ajara. He'd the pass of the game for me. When he put young Middleton through, and I'll put it down in experience. The boy, just a bad first touch, and then he was really trying hard. You see the frustration in his face. That happens. He'll get his goal, and he'll learn from it. But that was the pass of the game. I mean, we were for me, a lot of work, kept our shape at times, but the passing was absolutely diabolical.
Can I ask you a question? What do you think they're doing up in the what do you call it, the Hummel Training Centre? Unbelievable, isn't it?
It's a problem when you're passing around the cones. They don't move, Ulster.
Yeah, I know.
They don't move. Well, I think if you look at what we had in midfield and attacking options, that was mostly our team from last season that we started with, and we had the same issues with a lot of the same players that we had in tonight's game. It was a lot of the team of old of last season. I thought I was watching at times. The passing was poor. They couldn't find their man. The attacking options were never there. People weren't going into the right places. There was never the right passes. And the finishing at times was poor. But I thought if I'm going to look at it defensively, I thought we were very solid in defence. A few times, obviously, the that team, Scoopy as they're called, had a few chances, which is always going to happen. But I thought in the main positives out of it was definitely our defence tonight. I thought our goalkeeper and 2 centre backs, on a positive note, I thought they played a very good, solid game.
You want my honest opinion of the final third of the pitch, including McCrory and Jack? I thought they were very poor in their decision making. Their passing was sloppy. Candias, I don't know. Windass, a couple of decent things, but for the large part was anonymous. Morelos, very poor. Murphy, a couple of decent runs, but overall miscontrolled it. Didn't influence the game. Our whole forward of our team was very, very poor. But anyway, if people have got any thoughts on it, what's the number, Bridge?
Number's 0141 356 1972.
And where else can you join us, Ulster?
At rangersradio.online, and there's a wee Skype option there. And if you want to come in free of charge, obviously, if you can download Skype, that's how you can get on and speak to us.
But midfield to front, we were poor. The forwards were poor. A wee bit lack of confidence. What are you thinking, Bridge?
Well, there's 2 things I'm thinking. One, you're right. The confidence thing comes into it. But there's also, in my opinion, I'm not being funny when I say this. I said it last Thursday, or after last Thursday's game. That team who were playing, they're no fools. And they put in a few tackles that were quite nasty. The stamping type tackles, standing on feet, raking down the back, the leg, things like that were going on. And that makes you... It drags you down as well, because they weren't getting free kicks for it. They weren't, the people weren't getting booked. Eventually, there was a couple of bookings tonight, but there should have been a whole lot more. But again, you could say, well, that's no excuse. We get on with the game. Our passing has been poor. We're noted for poor passes. We lose the ball at the most inopportune times because of bad passing. I noticed that Tavernier tonight had some of his best crosses for a long time, my opinion. There's sort of a ratio of it. Nearly every cross in was a very good one. There was a couple that went a wee bit wild, and it was the same from the other side. Young Middleton putting one across, for instance, it was straight across a pitch. So there's some crosses getting through, but they're not doing anything. With free kicks, well, Tavernier was dreadful taking free kicks. We were just poor tonight to taking free kicks. With 2 really good chances, I thought. I missed the 2 of them, so...
I hit the wall, I think, with the 2 of them.
No,
one save. There was a save after the guy punched it. Ulster, I think the boy McCrory showed potential. He's playing that central defensive midfield role, but the problem he's got, his enthusiasm's only getting him so far. His decision making and sometimes his control means that he's diving in, and you see him, he tries that hard. He's getting himself in situations where he could get hurt because he's stretching and determined to get the ball. He's got to learn that position. He's got to improve, because we can't watch that, because his distribution needs to really improve dramatically if we're going to have a challenge, mate, if he's going to be our man in that position.
Absolutely. Yeah. Do you know what? Can I just...
Your call, Bridgeman. He's Ulster.
Oh, sorry.
On you go, mate.
No, you're right. And I like McCoy, especially from last season. But this game today, it was a wee bit like the first game, to be fair. As you said, decision making at times wasn't great. On the ball, a bit awkward. Always a couple of good passes, but more often than not, the pass was poor. It was short. It was maybe the other man. It wasn't the right way. Players had to stop and turn him, attack him. Obviously, then started to stop, and same as Jack at times as well. The 2 of them, but it's more. You're just, as I say, it's like last season. This is the problem. It's the same players. In that forward line from midfield to attack, same problems. But Ross McCrory needs to learn that position better. He needs to learn it quick, because there's obviously a player there who we've got from League One in France who is going to be fighting for that position, and that's the sort of type of player he is. He likes to be a centre defence midfielder, win the ball. He's good at possessing and keeping the ball. He's good at passing. So if McCrory doesn't sort of fuck his ideas up, and soon he could find himself on the bench very quickly if this new guy comes in and does a job.
We've been joined by Big Al, but Bridge come in with his point before we go to the global ambassador.
I was just going to say that, there are times when The young lad looks a bit, shall we say, slow, because his decision making can be quite poor. But I honestly think he's not quite grasped the position yet, the defensive midfield role. But you find him wandering, and when you wander, you get drawn further and further up the pitch dead easy, and he finds himself 40 yards in front of his defence, sometimes 30, 40 yards. That's no good. In my opinion, he wants to be further back and just patrol. He doesn't need to lunge into tackles. He's there to watch, cover the ground and block everything. Or not everything, but block whatever you can. If you need to make a tackle, make it right. Don't jump in there because you get injured, 3 or 4 times tonight there.
He's
them
going to get injured, Bridge. He's going to get injured tackling.
Absolutely, yeah.
I think his fault could be trying too hard.
Anyway, oh, yes, that's all in it. That's all in it, of course.
Anyway, how we doing, Big Al?
Oh, great, aye. We're not very good, are we, boys?
Oh, it was poor, Al. It was poor. It was it was like
improvement.
The goalkeeper and the centre backs, mate. That's the improvement.
That was coming. The goalkeeper was coming. That wasn't in question. But it's not really. We need to keep goals out. We want to start scoring goals. That's what we need to do. Our forward line midfield is terrible. Murphy. I don't know about Murphy. I wasn't that hooked on him last year. We brought him in on a full-time contract. He's awfully one-sided as well. Middleton's a positive. As you highlighted, it took 80 minutes to play a decent pass, and that was for a substitute that we've got on loan for Liverpool.
That was the pass of the game. That was for best pass.
It was approximately 80 minutes, wasn't it, into the game? Around about that time. That's how long it took us.
But passing was slow. But passing was
Mr. Gerrard up to? What's he up to?
I think he's trying to build a team, mate. I mean, I think if you take the front 6, if you like, the midfield 3 right. and the
Can I just stop
the
you
front
there?
3.
Can I just stop you there? He's trying to build a team. He's brought in another two players that hopefully are better than what we've got. That are on loan. He's got to put them into our team. He's not building a team, man. He's treading water here. Building a team's bringing in players that are contracted to us that are better than what we've got. We've got a guy, Morelos. I'm sick of him. Sick to my back teeth of him. He should have gone. We spoke about it last season. He should have gone for £9 million. I think that was another fairy tale as well. Who's going to buy him off us? Because if he doesn't start scoring goals, he's got to have to stay with us, and that'll be the striker we've got into the season. I really worry that we've not got a decent striker. We've not got anybody that'll feed him as well. And even if he does get balls, you're talking about Tavernier putting balls in. Aye, granted, he put 2 or 3 balls in, but then he lets himself down because he can't play the set pieces, so his game falters on that. But also, when he plays the nice balls into the box, there's nobody there to put them in the back of the net, man.
I didn't like the fact that for me we didn't have enough players in the box, you know. I would say that the positives are the 2 centre backs. The other 6, the forward players were all there last year. Mm-hmm. We thought we'd a glut of midfielders, but we don't see me here. I'll come right back to you, Al.
You're all right. Back to you.
We've been joined by Fox. Evening, Fox. How we doing, mate?
Evening.
How we doing, mate? You're one of these guys that's always fairly optimistic. I had the pleasure of watching the game with your good self. These are your views, mate.
Job done. Into the next round. Good night.
Well, you might as well
Good night, everybody.
Put a tune on and let's go home. Go on, give your thoughts. We're getting a critique on the game. We know we're glad we're through. We're always glad we're through, but we're talking about the actual football performance of the night.
It was a poor performance for the defence forward. As you all rightfully said, couldn't he pass a ball to a man 10 yards away. There's no substitution for quality, mate. And what we've done is, the money that we've paid out is for the 2 centre-backs and the goalkeeper. And you can see the quality in Goldson, especially out the 2 centre-backs, and McGregor, who we go him in a free, didn't we? But as the rest goes forward, I can never understand playing 2 defensive midfielders, mate, in a game like that. You know, I suppose it was down to injuries, but we need quality, and that's what we need to head for in the last few weeks of the transfer window for me. Morelos have stuck up for since he came to the club. But watching him tonight, although he works hard, we all know that, but he's just no got that thing in front of goal that you expect strikers to have. And I think he scored 1 goal in 12 competitive games, mate, in the last 12 competitive games, including the end of last season.
All right, I didn't realise it was that bad, mate.
Aye, and quite honestly, we need better than that. The midfield, there's no creativity. The Voyager, when he came on, added a wee bit of class. There's hope for him, but we need somebody, quite honestly, that is really creative, and we've got to buy that in, because there's nobody at our club that can do that.
But we've got 2 chaps that are injured. This is what I was trying to say the other night there. You've got Dorrans, and you've got the boy who came for Burnley, Arfield. So there's your 2 quality midfielders. We've got to do something with them. No, that's what we've got. I'm saying we've paid money for them. We've bought them in. So these are the ones that we need to actually play and see if they can match in with everything else. Obviously, this manager's going to. He's bought Arfield in, so he must want them. He must see him doing something, and then add into it. Because somewhere along the line, we've got players there that, by the sound of it, based on what he's saying, they ain't going to be any good to us. But this is not the time. It might be another year before we manage to do another clear out and bring more players in.
Another clear out, Bridge.
Listen, what I'm trying to say to you is, listen to what I'm saying. Based on what you guys are saying, you went through from the defence up the way, and you don't see any positives at all.
No,
so
on tonight's game. On tonight's game.
On tonight's game, yes.
Yeah, on tonight's game, yeah. Well, but let's be honest, we never played well. But I think you'll be on the right if we hear from our manager, Steven Gerrard, MBE, to get his thoughts on the game, and then we'll go straight to Big Al. I don't know if you've heard this, Al, have you?
Yeah, I've heard bits of it.
All right, let's hear.
I've been up all night, man. Took a day off work.
You're mad. Right, let's hear from your manager, Steven Gerrard, MBE.
Stephen, your reflections on the 90 minutes out here in Skopje?
I think we're pleased with some things and we're disappointed in some others. I think out of possession we were good, our shape was good. I thought we were aggressive. Pleased with the clean sheet. Thought Alan McGregor and the 2 centre-backs were outstanding. I think they got 1 real chance on goal late on, which we'll look at. Disappointed with us in possession for the first 30 minutes. I don't think we passed the ball and retained the ball well enough. And throughout the game there was a serious lack of quality in the final third.
You mentioned yesterday in the build-up to the game you expected Scoopy to really come at you. Are you pleased in the way that you dealt with their threat overall?
Well, I think our game management was really good today. I think we handled everything that was put at us besides that 1 chance. So, I think there's a base there to move forward on in terms of, how we wanted to look away from home. There's definitely a base, there's definitely a shape and a platform for us to build on. We will get better on the ball and we will improve in the final third. So there's certain things that I'm happy with, certain things that I'm pleased with, but I'm concerned with the lack of quality in the final third.
In terms of maybe just some more positives, what else was good for you tonight?
I think defensively we were really good. I set the players a challenge before the game, clean sheet and we're through. I think there's still a little bit of a mental block going on, especially with what happened 12 months ago. But yeah, I think we had chances to go and score ourselves down the other end, and the scoreline and the feeling might feel a bit better. But at the moment, I'm a bit mixed right now. I'm pleased with one side of the game, but there's certainly a hell of a lot of work to do on the other side of the game.
A quick word for the supporters. The numbers that were here in tonight and the noise was fantastic.
Yeah, unbelievable. They never fail. They're always here supporting the team, always behind us. We could hear them all game. We thank them for that support. And we move on. Now we've rewarded ourselves with a chance in the next phase. So, but one thing's for sure, we'll have to improve.
Yeah.
Well, I think he speaks for us all there. I mean, his sentiments and what he said is pretty much what we're saying as well. He can see there's a lack of quality. As I said the other night there, I don't think he'll persist with Morelos and Windass and whoever else up front if they're not scoring goals. But I don't think the big guy we've got for Roma is going to come in and set the heather on fire. I think we need somebody.
I've never seen him, Al. I've never seen him.
I know,
so
I've watched bits and bobs on it. I mean, he's not scored any goals, man. He's not a prolific goal scorer. He's out on loan at English. So we're taking it's another thing. We're taking a chance on another club's player. If he does well, we're not going to get the benefit of it. If he does well, we're not going to be able to sign him. So I don't like that. If he comes in and scores goals, fair enough, and he helps us win the league, because ultimately Gerrard has to win the league for me this season. That's what we're trying to do. So
at this moment in time, the top scorer connected with Rangers is the Fox. You know. You know, but I think Gerrard's very, very honest in his reflection of the game. Ulster, he's right. Defensively, we're okay. The final third, we were appalling. I mean, that's the only way I see it. You know, I mean, passing was doing my head in.
It was poor, but that's what gives me hope. As I said, watching the game of the boys, it was the same as like we're talking here, same as Stephen George interview. We've seen what was good and we've seen what was bad. The good thing of it is, at least we have a manager who's honest and open and can see, you know, as he said himself, he has a serious concern at the attacking, you know, part of our game, which is what we've had since last season. And unfortunately, there's only so much coaches can do with players, you know what I mean? If you haven't got the quality, you haven't got it. And unfortunately for us, when you're playing with a midfielder from last season and an attacking options from last season who failed miserably so many times, you're not going to get much better. So what they need to do is what I've been crying out for on this show the last few weeks when people's asking what do we need. I still think we need a top quality creative midfielder, and we need a striker. We can't go into next season with Morelos, in my opinion, as our lead attacker. No chance. That guy's confidence, I don't know what it is. Maybe it's confidence. It's shot to bits. He can't score goals. He can't trap the ball. He can't header the ball. Just everything is completely different from last season. So, and as Big Al's alluded to, we don't know this guy, Sadiq. We're going off on a whim, hopefully that he's good, but he mightn't turn out good. And then all your options is obviously young Zach Robin. So for me, we need to go out, give a good bit of money, buy a good striker, get him in, our striker who's not loaned from anyone else, one that we actually own that's proven if we can do it before the window closes, and better midfield players.
Who, Ulster?
I don't know. That's the big question. That's the question for the manager.
It's not that easy. You know, everybody's looking for the goal scorers and creativity.
Just missed out on Ronaldo, didn't we? We just missed out on him.
I think we were just under, weren't we? We were bid. But Bridgman and then we'll go to Fox on the Stephen Gerrard interview.
I thought the manager said everything that we've said, and some of us have said last season as well. The possession's poor, the passing's poor, the ability to read the game in all probability to make the good passes. If you take the last two games we've seen, apart from tonight, the last two games we've seen that boy Godson is probably the best passer of the ball that we've got. We end up playing everything through him. That's what it looks like to me, because he is not a bad passer of the ball. So you find that he can find a man now and again, but as soon as he pumps up the park and it goes a wee bit wrong, then it looks stupid. So as he passes it through, it's not too bad. But yeah, Ulster's absolutely right. You're desperately keen to see a guy that can be the role of an attacking midfielder. Someone that can hold the ball, someone that's creative, someone that's really, really tricky, like Oxtear was when he was young, and can actually see a pass and make it happen. We've got guys here that can't do any of them. They can mix it up and sometimes look good, but my goodness gracious, they're very poor. So the manager's got to see that, and some of them might just need coaching. They might be able to convert them from one position to another. Let's hope it's something like that. But if you want top quality, you need to go and buy it.
I think we've also got to put it in perspective, Fox, that 4 of our new signings played tonight, obviously with McGregor's come back to the club. Katic, Goldson and Flanagan, I think they were arguably our best 3 or 4 players. Tav done okay. We expect a lot for Tav. He's got to be our best provider, but he's also got to be our right back, so we expect a lot of him. Then we've not had Arfield's injured, got a knock. The 2 boys that came in last week is too soon for him. So all of a sudden, and then the boy came on for Liverpool. So the new players and the signings are starting to slowly feed in and a wee bit of cause for optimism?
Well, we've got a wee cause for optimism.
Wee
No
bit of
much.
cause.
No much at the moment. I thought the manager never tried to sugarcoat it. Spoke the way everyone who's on the panel has spoken so far, that we weren't pleased with the going forward. And I think he will try and remedy it. The other thing he said that they were trying out a new system away from home. Is that not what he said in that interview? Probably that's the reason why we played the two defensive midfielders. But the two defensive midfielders we've got aren't good enough to me. I suppose it would have been maybe a wee bit more creative, as Bridgman said, if it was Arfield, Dorrans, and the one that's always injured, or Rossiter. Might have made a more combative and creative midfield than the three that played tonight. So we'll just need to say, we do need to remember, this is only our third real game, isn't it? Third game we've had.
One friendly and
One
two
friendly.
games.
We've not lost a goal in that time, which shows that the defence is probably looking a bit more solid. The back four, I mean, some people are having a go at Taverner, but he's our most creative player going forward. Whether we like it or no, that's what it is. And I think we'll have to put up with the defensive lapses at time and hope people cover for him, because he is quality going forward.
Big Ulster. Carry on, Bridge, and then I'll go to Big Ulster.
No, I was just going to say, I think he's right there, but I've said this for a while. We need to find a way of nullifying Taverner's mistakes, because tonight you saw it was maybe two or three, not that far apart, where he got the ball, he beat the man, defended, beat the man, and then for some reason or other decided to try and pass it, and couldn't pass it more than 3 or 4 yards, and eventually the guy ran in and had a lovely shot that the keeper managed to put over the bar. So he's not, shall I say, he's not endangering too much, but the truth is, against far better teams, when you lose the ball...
we could have lost the goal,
absolutely. Yeah.
I mean, we discussed that at the time, Bridge. That was out in the touchline. He decides to pass it back. Now, he was fine. If he's going to make the pass, he's got to make sure he makes it, or he just tries to hoof it and see where it takes. You clear your lines first when you're 30 yards for goal. Big Ulster, have we made progress?
Oh, the famous word, progress.
Neither can.
Big Al, you see what I done there?
Yeah.
Well, going from last season, we went out at this stage, so yes. Defensively, we're a much better side. We look more confident in the defence. You know, it was, as I say, Scooby had a few chances, but that's always going to happen. But in the main, I'm not panicking. I don't seem to panic as much because I like Goldson, I like Kalic. Goldson probably more so because his position is really good. He's very calm. He can pass the ball out. Going forward, I have to say we've made no progress on the team that was on the field tonight because it's the same group of players from last season. Fox's point's correct. It is only the third game of the season, and we probably aren't still in pre-season, but the only worry I have is we've seen these same players last season and we know they can't produce. This is the problem. That's why we need these players that we've brought in to hit the ground running. We also need a few more. But progression, yes, obviously, because we're through to the next round, and defensively, there was progress there.
Big Al?
We probably have made progress, but not much, I don't think. Gerrard's still finding his feet. The defence, granted, seems to be a bit more robust. I think he's made a big boob in making Tavernier the captain. He said all the I don't think we all like him 100%. He's all right, but I'm maybe 95% on him, 90% on him, because he does make errors. I don't want my captain making errors. I want my captain to be half to into the challenges. But we rely on him to create attacks. I'm not keen on him being the captain. I think Gerrard's boob there. So they made that big goal in the captain. Took it, let Tavernier do his thing out in the wing. And also, I think he has to come up the park more and maybe play with the three at the back and use Tavernier as a kind of wing back thing. And maybe John on the other side and play your three centre halves, Goldson, Katic and puts the one that bashed his girlfriend, Flanagan, play the three of them as the three centre halves and have John. I like John. I take John on the left and then work the team around about that, because I think that gives us more outlets, gets the ball into the box quicker with Tavernier and John on the wing and whoever in front of them. The only thing I fear for is we spent a bit of money on the defence. I don't think we've got money to buy a half decent forward or two forwards. So that's going to be another loan signing, I believe. And then we've got a team of 5 signings, and then the other first team players are all loan signings for other clubs. I don't think that mix works well, because we've certainly not got good enough players. Ryan Jack Dorrans is done. I don't care what MD says. He was done when he came to us. He's got injuries and that. He's maybe a trier, but he's never showed anything for me that he's got to be a creative midfielder or scorer goals. I don't even know his position. Is he a defensive midfielder, creative midfielder?
No, he was
behind the front two. You know what I mean, mate?
He was more a creative, more a creator than a defensive midfield player, mate.
But will he be creative enough? Because he's not on the
team.
I've not seen any creative.
Will he be fit enough? That's the question. So you need to get fit first.
Arfield, I don't think he's a leader in the sense that he's a major creative player. He plays with somebody else who's a wee bit better than him, if you know what I mean, and then he'll run onto the types of balls. Rossiter, he's another injury guy. We can't count him. Ryan Jack's all right, but he's no creativity.
I thought Ryan Jack was really rusty tonight, Al. I've got to be honest. I think he did. I don't want to criticise him too much. No, for a long injury.
I'm trying myself not to criticise. I don't want to be negative, but I just, mate, we've had 6 seasons of this. We brought a manager.
Watching that football, everybody was disappointed tonight. We're happy we're through, but the actual game was crap.
One thing I'll say is we started off on a train, but the way it's gone, suddenly I'm looking around myself, we're on a tram. We need to get back on this locomotive and get it going. And Mr. Gerrard, I think, man, he's honest enough. He's set a fire under that striker Morelos' arse the day by day comments. If he can't hack it, he has to go.
I don't think it was just Morelos. I don't think it was just Morelos.
But he's a striker. Who else? We've not got another striker.
I thought the providers, Candias, Murphy, Windass.
But they're not the strikers, you know what I mean? I know what you're saying. It's difficult. If he's not getting the ball at a certain position, he can't put it in the net. Yeah, I understand that, but still, the striker's there to put the goal in the back of the net, and we've been saying that for last Christmas in regards to that fella. One thing he's wanted to do, he's wanted to square up his napper, because his hair's all out of alignment. Maybe that's knocking his balance off or something. he's wanted to get
symmetry,
symmetry, aye. That's the first thing I'd be saying to him. Get your napper sorted, son. Maybe help you out.
Get an old school blue.
A romper stomper. Get a fox.
Can I come in on that?
On you go, mate.
I was just going to say that, look, if I heard the commentator saying it once tonight, I heard him saying it a dozen times, that so-and-so failed to get his foot round the ball. I don't know what that means even, you know. If a guy can't cross the ball, he can't cross the ball, but this failure to get the foot round the ball, and sorry, do you see that? You know, when we see bad passes, they're saying the player failed to get his foot around the ball. I don't get that. Do you get it, Oxtead? Do you know what it means?
Usually when you go to cross it, mate, and you don't get enough whip on it, you know. But I mean, our passing, there was one.
But what I'm saying is, they've got all the time in the world to cross the ball, and all of a sudden they fail miserably, and somebody says they failed to get their foot around the ball. Why are they failing to get their foot around the ball, I ask?
Don't know. I mean, it was a simple passes. There was one quite near the end. We were well on top. We were controlling the game. They looked knackered when they were starting foul after foul. Windass played the ball to Murphy, edge of the box, 5-yard pass and put it behind them, and you're like,
yeah, just shocking, isn't it? It's just shocking.
You know, and that's the frustrations I felt tonight. I mean, look, if it's a pre-season game and we'd done that performance, you say, we're trying to get it, wasn't it? It was a competitive game. Maybe we're reading too much here, Big Ulster, and it is just a pre-season game, and we'll be better for it.
I hope so. I think you know, I'm going to give the manager leeway here because I think he's going to sort it out. You can only really see these players and the team as in these competitive games. Unfortunately, they've come so quick for us. There hasn't been really a chance to have a load of pre-seasons and actually work on, who's your weaknesses and who's your strengths. But that's obviously why he's brought these loan signs in. Unfortunately, they weren't good, didn't get clearance for these 2 games, so we were sort of stuck with what we have. But the problem we have now probably is, I think we've only got one more pre-season game left, which is against Wigan, and then we're in the proper action then, away to Pittodrie, which will be a tough game for the start of the season. So we need to try and sort it out. But I'm confident in the manager that he sees where our weaknesses are, and I've no doubt he'll be behind the scenes trying his best to work with whoever he has to get that sorted and try and get people in to add the quality that we're severely lacking. The Fox, the interview for our manager, he knows where the problems lies. In fact, I think he was listening to us talking.
I think it's a case he's putting a bit of pressure on the board there, mate. He's more or less telling them we need more quality in forward positions. They need to open up the purse strings, mate. That's what we need to remember. We wasted 10 million under Kashina. So the board laid out money last year or put forward the funds for Kashina. So that's £10 million we've thrown away. He's doing the right things. Everybody you speak to about football, you build for the back. That was our glaring weakness last year. He seems to have sorted that out. He's here for 4 years, supposed to be. He's not going to get it right in one transfer window, and it's about time we all realised that. Will we be good enough in the Premier League? We'll just have to wait and see.
Aye. But when do we play next Thursday, Fox?
Well, I think we're away the next game, aren't we?
Next Thursday.
The winner of the other game, which was the full-time side drew 1 each with the part-time mob, and I think we'll know the result or who will be playing later on tonight,
So we'll be playing next Thursday. Should we have a game on Saturday, mate?
I think we could have fitted in a bounce game, and we probably will, So we'll have to wait and see.
All right. Positives for you, Bridgeman. Was it the 2 centre-backs, the goalkeeper, or anything else that you've seen?
I think defence in general. Defence was a plus side. I think, look, we went abroad. It was very warm. Put up with the bad weather and so on and so forth, and we came away with a clean sheet. And there's not very many Rangers teams can do that. I've done it in the past even. It's a tremendous achievement, to be honest. I'm not saying the team were the best team in the whole world, but they could put themselves about, and they did. We think we know where our weaknesses are. We're speaking about them now. But the 2 centre-halves have played very well. The left-back, Flanagan, I thought had another good game. But again, we're only talking about the defence, really. The rest of the team, they need to improve. They just need to improve. Everybody needs to improve. But I thought McGregor, Godson and the other, Katic, excellent tonight. Excellent. They're the positives.
All right. What was your thinking on the 3 up the middle of the defence, Al?
I like that. I like the way England played at the World Cup with that 3 and then having 2 wing backs. So if we can say Taverniers or Trippier and John would be what's the guy from Man United?
Ashley Young.
Ashley, you know what I mean? Using that style, because I think it gives you a lot of width and it's a quick attack. I think Gerrard would like that.
England had less shots in goal in the tournament than Iran.
Aye, but no, I'm talking about the style. I know what you're saying. There's a lot of criticism about it. But if you get, I'm just talking about that style of play. The 3 at the back, 3 dominant centre halves, good goalkeeper, and then you've got that extra outlet. I like John. Where's John? Is John injured?
No, I don't know where he is, mate. I really don't.
Flanagan's keeping him out of the team.
Aye.
No, but if you play Flanagan as one of the 3 centre halves, you know what I mean?
Oh, right, okay.
The 3 centre halves with that 2 wing back or whatever their position, I don't know. But, I think that gives us a lot of options. Positive for me, the result is a real positive, and that's about as much as I can say about it. But is there money there for a striker, or I just?
Well, it was worth money tonight, Al, because obviously we hope we get another full house at Ibrox, and then all of a sudden this wee run starts to be worth a couple of million quid, doesn't it?
But I'm not critical of the manager, because I do think the manager will try his level best to produce and put a team on the park for us, because he's a natural born winner, natural born leader. Yeah, I think the fault comes with the players, and especially the existing talent pool that we have at Ibrox. I think that's where the club's let down. He's come in thinking we'll get this, we'll get that. He'll pull up his socks. He'll start scoring goals for us. He'll start crossing nice balls, and it might not just work. He's maybe a bit off more than he can chew. He needs extra investment, and he didn't come here with the promise of loan signings and 5 or 6 million. He must have came on the back of a good pool of cash and not just loan signings. You know what I mean? Working in that loan market. He must have targets, but the closer we get to the end of the transfer window or teams coming back, to me that says it is loan signings that are going to come in. I think if we had a striker in mind and we had money to buy a striker, that striker would have been in place by now. The creative midfielder would have been in place by now. So, look, it's still up in the air. It's early doors, but I want us to win the league this season, and I think that they must have said that to him. Look, you've got to come in and win us the league. So whatever support he needs moving forward, he must get. We have to win the league. That's my.
Talking about supporters.
I'm going to go just now, gentlemen. I've got a couple of things to do, but look, thanks very much for taking my call, and you have a good show, okay?
All right, mate. You take it easy, mate. Always a pleasure.
No worries.
All right.
Thank
Cheers,
you very much again, guys.
Right.
Thank you. Bye.
Cheers. I've been joined by Rudy Bear. Evening, Rudy.
Evening, gents. How we
Rudy.
doing?
How you
Did
doing,
that
pal?
put you off your tea?
Hey, Rudy.
Hi, Ulster. How you doing, mate?
Doing well, thanks.
That was hard to watch at times, I thought. Wasn't it? I was expecting better than that, I have to say, you know. I mean, we're through, you know. I mean, that's a positive, isn't it? I mean,
Have we been over? I don't know if you've heard this. Have we been overcritical, or is it a fair critique of the game?
Oh, I think for what I've heard, I've got about 10 minutes there while I was sticking the kettle on and that. I think.
Did you have a nice wee bun with your chocolate eclair or something?
No, I had a wafer, chocolate wafer.
All right, okay.
So, I think you've been pretty fair, Ox. Do you know, see about 25 minutes into the second half, my mate texted me and says, same players, same problems. That's what he said to me. I think that's Neil right in the head, really, isn't it? Same players, same problems. Jamie Murphy, I'm still not 100% sure about. I wasn't there last season, and I'm still not sure about Jamie Murphy this season. I've told you what I think of Morelos. He should have gone in January. We should have took whatever money was being offered, whether it was 6, 7, 8, whatever it happened to be. If that money was on the table for him, we should have took it. Josh Windass, fed up making make my opinion known about Josh Windass. I can only hope that the boy Koulibaly and Umar Sadiq, when they get the chance to get that blue jersey on, make a big difference. The defence looks much more solid. I like the boy Flanagan, to be honest with you. He looks like he's a fullback and knows how to defend. He's a good player, in my opinion. Connor Goldson strolled about the park again. Confidence, he's calm. He's a good player, that boy. Katic, I like the look of as well. So, and then you've got Griggsy in goals there. You know, when he was called upon, he done what he had today. So the defence certainly looks much more solid than last season. But then that wouldn't have been hard, would it? Really? So we got the 2 legs. 2 clean sheets. For me, that's a positive. But I mean, and the amount of times that we gave the ball away and we lost the ball, passing went awry, wrong decisions were made, between the midfield and the forwards. I don't know. As I say, my mate hit the nail right in the head when he texted me. That was all he said in the text. 20 minutes, 25 minutes, second half, same players, same problems. And he's right. That's, the players haven't improved since last season, in my opinion. No, certainly since what I've seen today, what I've seen last week as well in the first leg. There was a 20, maybe 25-minute spell in that second half where our midfield didn't get anywhere near them. And let's face it, we're going to come up against better teams than that, if we progress through these qualifiers. So we're going to come out against better teams than that in the Scottish League, let's put it that way.
Aye. I think look, if we'd have won 2 or 3-0 tonight, we couldn't go overboard. We'll go to see what we're seeing in the performance tonight, but we can't be too disheartened because we're still in pre-season. But it was poor. It was poor, mate. We're going to be honest.
You can make excuses for the Mox. It's pre-season. It's it's the sort of beginnings of a new era under Steven Gerrard and his coaching staff. Brought some new players. The new players that were brought in, it looks to me like the only quality we've got in the team at the moment. Because the players that are there for last season are still making the same mistakes. Did I hear somebody say, it might have been Fox, that in the last 12 games, Morelos has only scored 1 goal?
Yes, Fox scores more regular than Morelos does.
That's just no good enough. That's just no good enough.
For Fox or Morelos?
Well, I'm sure it's great for Fox, but for Morelos, that's for the team. For us, that's no good enough. A striker that scores 1 goal in 12 games, the last 12 games, and it's not like you can say that he's not been provided with chances to up that ratio, because he has. He's had plenty of chances. I mean, you look at the amount of sitters that he missed in the second half of last season. The amount of chances he fluffed. And it looks like he's back to it again. And the thing about the night, the game earlier on the day that bothered me about him was, normally you get a really good work rate off of Morelos. If he's not scoring goals, he's working hard. He didn't look like he was even that bothered. He wasn't really up for putting the work in the night. And that bothered me a wee bit. I have to say, I think the Rangers support for what I've been seeing on the forums and stuff like that, I think they're getting really fed up with him now. I think.
Can I come in on that, Oxy?
When you go, Bridge.
I'm urging caution on this. Look, there is absolutely no way our manager, no matter how bad Morelos was in the previous games, there's no way he's going to drop him from tonight's game. So tonight's game was going to be virtually the same team, which it was. We said this last night. This was going to be, and your pal texting you saying the same thing, same players, same problems, yeah? So the manager now sees that, and he's got to start making the changes or coaching them in a different way, or coming up with a different formation that they can play in that makes the players look better and feel better. Because you and I, Rudy, I'm talking about now, because we've spoke about Morelos before. That boy's running. That boy's walking about the pitches, and he's in a bad mood. He's sulking, and when he's sulking, he's not playing. And when he's not playing, he's rotten. I mean, he's just absolutely rotten on the pitch. And that's at times that's what he looked like. He must have had 3 or 4 couple of half chances tonight there, and then never again, and nowhere near it.
I thought Steven Gerrard in his post-match interview, Bridge, I thought he was scathing. To be honest, I don't think he missed him today, and I don't know whether is that going to make a difference to Morelos, or is that going to make him worse than he's been?
Well, that's what I was meaning. Last week,
Alfredo didn't subscribe to RTV, mate.
No, but the thing is that the manager his post-match interview last week after the game, he's not going to slaughter them, because that's who he's going to have to use for this game coming up. That's what his squad was. Now the next game, and I don't know when the registration limits for that is. Maybe let's say it's Friday or Tuesday or something. Then we see who he's going to put in for the next round. But you're stuck. Once you put your 22 players in, you're stuck.
I think the 2 new boys though, Koulibaly and Sadiq, I think they're available now for the next.
I'm saying that, so it could be a totally different team that he puts out next week. But from last Thursday, there's no very much he could do. And I think it was just stuck. We've not got any other strikers other than young Zach Rudden.
But we can't blame the manager or the selection for the players on the park.
No.
Consistently passing the ball. As bad as that's got to be doing today, innit? The passing, it was just shocking, really,
It was poor. It was really, really poor. The decision making at time was poor. The passing was poor. they lost the ball umpteen times, and I was getting really frustrated watching it, because I mean, they're not a great team a good team by any stretch of the imagination. One or two kind of tidy players, and that's about it, really. And they were pulling, some of the dirty tactics, there's rating players in the back of the leg.
Yeah, shocking.
And that kind of thing was going on, But that's what teams like, they're going to try and disrupt you. They're going to try and pull these tactics to try and put you off your stride a wee bit, But in all honesty, if this team, if that's going to put them off their stride, then we've got a long season ahead of us, mate, let me tell you, because they're going to face a lot more of that in the Scottish League as well. So
Rudy, while you're in a good mood for answering questions, I've got one question that's burning my tongue here. Why on earth did that team, our club, change their game from their own stadium to that big empty shell?
I don't know. I kind of wondered about that.
I couldn't believe it.
I thought maybe they would have brought a load of support. They'd have had a good support. Yeah, but I know what you mean. It was empty, wasn't it? No, I don't know.
Shocking.
I didn't understand
for a UEFA game. Wow.
Yeah, I didn't understand that at all. But you're quite right. It didn't seem to make any sense. No less their own stadium. Maybe it doesn't reach the required standards. Maybe
Maybe.
Yeah.
Big Ulster. Do we move on here with confidence because we're through, or do we move on with trepidation?
Well, I think you're better off taking the positives out of it. I think going into the next game, confidence-wise, there's going to be, probably the manager will give him a good shake-up. There's no doubt about that. He let us know his views. He'll let them know a lot more depth, and he's obviously let us know, obviously, as fans through that. But he didn't miss and hit the wall. He told us where his concerns are, and I just have faith in the manager that he'll sort the problems out. Whether or not he has them all these positions sorted before Thursday's game, Thursday's squad, that'll remain to be seen. But we've just got to hope that Koulibaly and Sadiq are good enough, obviously, and to come in and be better quality than what we've seen tonight. But the positives I look at it is the three signings that Stephen Gerrard has made who played tonight. Impressed. They've done a good job. So to me, that thinks he does have a good eye for a player. It's just trying to get these other positions sorted up in the midfield and the striking to improve us even more. So I think he's as I say, he's sort of stuck a wee bit there, tried to get those players in as quick as he could. Couldn't get the clearance for them, unfortunately. So we've sort of stuck with what he had. Going into next Thursday's game, I think we'll be a better team for it. And going on as the window closes, I think we'll improve.
A guy has frustrated me this season, and the three times I've seen him in the first two games, I felt that when that tight three didn't work, and tonight he was back there again. Was Candeias? I mean, I don't think that's his position, Rudy Bear.
No, I think he's been played out of position. I think you see the best of Candeias when you stick him out wide right. Simple as that. That's the boy's position. I don't know if it doesn't look like the kind of player he can ask to play anywhere else, but maybe the way it is just now, it's kind of needs must just now. Maybe, I mean, there's a few weeks left of the transfer window. You don't know what, Mark Allen and Stephen Gerrard have got up their sleeve as far as other players that they're looking at. But we certainly need to bolster the team because there's new players needed. It's as simple as that, because certainly don't see any improvement in some of these players. I would have thought under Stephen Gerrard, the huge name that he is coming in, some of these players, you'd get a bounce off them, they'd be wanting to impress, I know it could be that they're impressing in training, maybe they're looking good in training and stuff like that. But
I really don't care what people do in training, mate. I don't.
I couldn't care less what they do in training. You're quite right, also.
It's what you do on the park in 90 minutes and the game counts.
Competitive games as well for me, Go out and score 6 goals against Bury, and everybody's thinking, wow, that was brilliant, great, some cracking football and all the rest of it. But when it really comes down to it, it's the competitive games that really matter, I mean, I've seen better Rangers teams than this have a dreadful pre-season yet go and win the league, you know what I mean? So for me, it doesn't really matter, but these competitive games do matter. And I would think, if it, I don't know, what this team's like, what we're going to face in the next round, but I'd imagine there'd be a wee step up there. So, as far as Candeias is concerned, I think you've got to play him in his position. I think him and Tav had managed to develop a really good understanding on that right, and more times than not, they played pretty well together out there, out in the right. I think we talked about it last season. Whenever the team did play badly, even they did sort of pull it together a wee bit, the both of them. So, I think you've got to play them out there on the right.
I mean, it needs must. We've got injured Fox in midfield just now. Obviously, the boy Rossiter for a couple of weeks, so is Dorrans. Arfield's got a knock. There's 3. Who else is missing? The boy that was signed should be available, so there's 4 missing. The boy Docherty has really been doing the pecking order. Has that surprised you, Fox?
It has, mate. I thought that maybe after the couple of months that he played with us last year that he would kick on with a full Rangers pre-season behind him and develop into a good young player. He's still got time in his side like a lot of players. Look, we've slagged the players tonight, but the main thing that was wrong last year was consistency. And they've had a bad game tonight, but that doesn't mean they'll have a bad game every game. These players, they're not all terrible. We're looking back and critiquing the game tonight, but Murphy's a good player. Windus is reasonable, and Morelos is reasonable as well. I think what you'll get is games where they'll be brilliant, and there's games when they'll be like they were tonight. And the only way we can change that is new faces. I don't know about this. Gerrard obviously prefers a 4-3-3 formation, but I don't think we've got the players at this moment to play that formation. And I'm just wondering, sometimes you're better playing players in their natural positions and maybe even going to a 4-4-2. Murphy likes to be in the left, Candeias likes to be in the right. But everybody keeps saying, we'll go overrun in midfield, etc., because it's always 2 against 3. The only other option is loan players, and people don't seem to like loan players. I do. I like loan players. It gives you time to bring in a reasonable player for not much money until the next transfer window when you can try and improve your quality again. And most of our money, as I keep saying, has went in the defence. It looks as though it's definitely been steadied up. The rest of the players, I think, at the moment will blow hot and cold. They'll get games when they'll be superb, mate. But to win the league, you need to be consistent, and that's my worry at the moment. They're not consistent enough.
I bet we wish Penna and Herrera had been on loan for a year.
That's right. We said that, mate, that we wasted £10 million getting spent on the midfield this season would have been a lot better, because if Gerrard had been there last season, they'd have fixed the defence for that amount last year. We'd be now looking at our midfield and spending good money there. But in Scottish football, there's no tremendous amount of capital to play with. So we need to be patient and let's hope that he can solve it,
Anyway, if you don't mind going on mute, Bridge is going to give us a solo. We'll have a tune for your Fox.
See them march on, marching on through the years of history. Heads held on high, for the just they will do or die. Fight for right, play the game with the badge of glory. Win, lose or draw, that's the match.
Bridgeman,
Wow, do you see the dancers in the lobby?
you're going to
Oh,
have to have a quiet word with Cumbria and Bear. He's hugging the whole Flaherty.
Unbelievable, isn't it?
And
Cumbria,
you
what is it you're doing? What are you on?
He's showing off. He's showing off. You're going to
Wow.
have to take him to one side and have a word with him, Bridge, all right?
The next time I see him, I will do that. That's for sure.
Aye. Thanks for that, Fox. Always good doing well with all the accordions.
Skipper said that. Hey, Padge, that's a very neat display, Padge. Did Mrs. Padge help you with that? Good yourself, Skip.
Mrs. Padge, one of the all-time stars of Rangers Radio, welcome on the
Absolutely.
show anytime. Anytime, Fox, eh?
Of course he is, mate.
Padge will be the oven kittens.
Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. Absolutely.
That was funny. That was funny. So, anyway, onwards and upwards. We've won the match. Well, we've won the tie. We've no lost a goal over 2 legs. We've not the banana skin. We've made a few quid. We play next Thursday. Am I right in saying that? Yeah,
Next Thursday, yes. Next Thursday.
We're away from home.
I think we're away from home.
All right, okay. Potentially where, Fox, Malta or...
I'm
I
not
think
sure.
it's Croatia. It's Croatia or Moldova or something like that.
Aye, something like that. Aye.
Croatia and Moldova. Oh, gee, Rod,
Something
they know nothing about football, they Croatians.
Well, there you go. That's what I mean. We're going to be in the same place probably. It's, just up the
The
road
boys
to
would have
Macedonia.
they'd be as well stay there, wouldn't they?
Exactly. They could just get themselves acclimatised. Stay there for an hour. We can get acclimatised. Brilliant. Let me just check that.
You have a look at that. So we'll move on. The ties are moving on. Rumours today that we went in again for the boy Jake Cooper, Big Ulster. Does that suggest to you that Stephen Gerrard is looking to play 3 at the back? Because Cadic and Goldston have done okay so far.
Yep. As I said, then you've got obviously young Aidan Wilson there as well as a backup, but I think he wants it as an option, definitely. I think, we've talked about Tab's defensive, sometimes defensively. He can be poor, but I think it's because he races up the park at times, and sometimes, obviously, when the team breaks, it's hard for him to get back after he's been winging a ball in, and maybe we don't get it on the counter. So if you have that 3 at the back, that obviously lets Tav and obviously whoever your left back is to sort of push up that wee bit more. And obviously you've got the 3 sitting to cover. I think that's why he's paying so much big money. He's already spent big money for us, for Scottish football. He's paid pretty big money already for them, Cadic and Goldson. And he's obviously willing to pay a good wee lump. Actually, it's probably maybe the most he's going to pay for a defender. That's what he's went in for, whether we get him or not. But that money's obviously there for another centre-back. I think it's an option he's looking at, mate, definitely. I think it's something that we need, because we've always had a plan A, no plan B, which is synonymous with how we've been the last few seasons. And I think that's why Stephen Gerrard's trying to sort that out so we can change our play for different styles, different games.
Is that what it's suggesting to you, Rudy?
I think it's a long, hard season in Scotland, Ox, so you've got to sort of factor in suspensions, haven't you, injuries, stuff like that. Maybe what he sees at Ibrox just now, maybe what he sees there, he's no too enamoured of it, and he's looking for another sort of quality centre-back. Will he play with 3 centre-backs? Yeah, he might do, he might go for Bridges' preferred formation at Ibrox, maybe go with the whole 3-5-2, but I think he's probably got more on his mind as his bench, for suspensions and injuries, all that type of thing when the season starts. I don't know a lot about the boy Jake Cooper, but if they're willing to push the boat out for him, which it looks like, I think if they had 3, is that the 3rd bid that's went in now, I think, something like that. They seem to really want him, for what I've seen so far for the centre-backs that they've brought in. I like both of them, Cadic and Goldson. So hopefully this boy's as good a quality as certainly Goldson. So for me, it's all about the bench. I said often last season, you could look at the bench last season and we didn't have anybody on the bench that we could bring on, and things weren't going good for us, you know what I mean?
Competition for places, Rudy, is that what you're saying?
Exactly. That's exactly it.
Yeah, fair shout, mate. What's your thinking with this Jake Cooper, Fox? Are you thinking 3-5-2, or you thinking he's not coming in to be covered, is he?
No.
If we do,
No, I think it's the way I'm looking at it is like he has the option of playing 2 up front, And maybe it's sorting out two problems at once. That if you get the third decent centre back, that allows you to play two strikers. And that would be my solution for it as well. I've always liked 3-5-2 as well, because it gives you the full complement in the midfield of five players there when your wing halves move forward. So I would say that's why he's looking at him as well. The other thing is, once he's watched that game tonight, he maybe, if we get knocked back for the boy, what's his name, Jake? What?
Jake Cooper.
Jake Cooper again. We've went in 3 times, and if West Ham aren't going to sell him, fair enough. Why not go for Millwall? Why not go for a decent, or even using McCrory as the third centre back, mate, if that's the way he's thinking? I don't think McCrory would be that bad in a back 3. Certainly he's got more experience than Aidan Wilson, so we've got the option there. But that 3+ million that he's getting in for Jake Cooper with, mate, could be better spent, and maybe on a good attacking midfield to back up the boy Ajari. I like to look at him when he come on, but whether he'll be able to handle a season in Scottish football, we'll need to wait and see.
Bridgeman?
The Jake Cooper deal, well, I think our manager really fancies him, and until such times as the club say they're not interested anymore, then I think he'll hammer away at it. Whether he'll get the money to back him up for another big push, I'm not dead sure, because I think last I heard was they were talking about 5 million for the guy. Some guys are saying the only way he's going to leave Millwall is if he puts in the transfer request and then they do a deal with Rangers. However, that may not happen. What I was also hearing is that we're actually looking at another centre-back from Blackpool, a guy called Tilt. I don't know his first name. Somebody Tilt, left-footed centre-back. So that might be his next foray into the transfer market. Foxy, I'm sorry to say this, but based on what the manager said about McCrory playing out of position, I don't think he'll use McCrory in a defensive defensive line again. I just don't see it. So
McCrory's trouble is he's got the boy's enthusiasm, his heart, his pace, he's brave. He's everything of the attributes of certain positions on the park, but he's raw right there and then Ulster.
He's not a finished article by any stretch of the imagination. He's still, I mean, we sometimes forget, because of the amount of games that he's played for Rangers. I know he was out for quite a large chunk of the season with injury last season, but we sometimes forget how young he is. He's still a kid, really. He's still a young boy, He's still learning his trades. If we play him in that CDM position, then he's still learning that. If you play him at the back, as a centre back, he's still learning that as well. So regardless of where you play him, but he's certainly one for the future though. For me, I really like him. I do realise that he makes mistakes. I realise he lunges into tackles where he could get himself injured. Never mind injure somebody else or get himself, sent off or whatever the case might be. But he's certainly got talent. He's got a bit of pace. He's got a bit of hunger about him. So for me, he's certainly worthwhile keeping in the first team squad. Will he get the season? Will we get a season out of him, depending on who Steven Gerrard brings in between the transfer window? Remains to be seen. Apparently, the boy Koulibaly's a CDM. And a good one at that, So remains to be seen, really. But certainly I would keep him in the squad, the first team squad, because he's got all the attributes that we're looking for. He's just still learning his trade. Can
I agree with you there 100%? My thoughts are that he will be a central defensive midfielder of some description. What I was saying was Fox thought he could do a job for us in defence. I'm just saying that based on what the manager said the other day there when he was being interviewed, he thought it was nearly a tragedy. They could have ruined his career and so on and so forth by playing him in the back. So it would be a big, quick turnaround, wouldn't it, for him to say he was going to play him in the back in the defence again. So that's all I was meaning with that. I agree with you 100%. He's got qualities. But you've heard me saying it. We're speaking to Oxter tonight, and we were saying a similar thing. And I think everybody agrees he's a wee half a yard out in his thought process, and he takes that decision to go, I'll make it, and sometimes he doesn't. Sometimes he does. But each time he does that, he's only going to potentially cause himself some troubles, or indeed cause somebody else a trouble.
This is going to sound really silly, but you'll get my point, mate. He's too quick for his own good, because he thinks his pace is always going to get him out of trouble with a tackle, and eventually he's going to just miss once fractionally, and it looks as if he's the type that's going to get hurt, you know. But
he took one the day, didn't he? Right down the back of the leg, I think. You know?
He's a brave boy, mate. I can't. His enthusiasm. He's a team player. And it's just he's passing and his control and his decision making. Hopefully, come experience. Now again, we forget how young they are. You know, he's only a young man. You know,
that's right.
He's only a baby, according to the manager. He's just a baby.
But if you can't pass the ball as a professional at 20, 21, when are you going to be able to pass it?
But see, I think a lot of that comes with experience as well, though, Ox. You know, we had him in a team last season that was failing. In all honesty, that was a failure, in my opinion. You don't finish third in Scotland, no, a Rangers team, simple as that. You know, and get yourself humped at a cups and stuff like that. You know, that was a failure of a team. And for a quite a big part of the season, we were expecting big things off him. You know, because the team is so bad at times. Certainly the midfield, you know, was consistently overrun. But then we realised how much we missed him, though, Ox, when he went out injured. So we did, because I thought the midfield it was even worse when he wasn't there. For me, I think he's a quality player. I just think he's young and he's still got lots to learn yet. I think as he matures in the next season or two, I think we'll see a really, really good player in there. As I said, I'd certainly keep him in about the first team, regardless of who gets brought in between now and the end of the transfer window.
I think, can I come in on that? I think he tries to do, he gets the ball, and when he wins the ball, he gets the ball in a particular position, and he wants to attack. His first, shall we say, his decision is, I'm going to attack and I'm going to try and play a winning pass, a really good pass, 30-yard, 40-yarder. It'll set everything up. Now, that'll come off maybe 1 out of 10 if he's lucky, you know. But in general, if you get a defensive midfielder, the last thing you want him to be doing is to try all these fancy passes. Give it to somebody that can. You know, if you've got an Oxtear beside you that can actually play football, give it to him. Let him play football. I'm just saying that's the way you should be doing it.
He came off in the World Cup final, but the best at this present moment is the boy Kanté. He's superb at it. He does the work for the team. I mean, you don't get many like him. Naturally, he can play the game without making great passes because he's such a good reader of the game. Young McCrory's no got that in his game yet, and I think I'll go to Fox on this, that one of the problems is he's been a jack of all trades, master of none, mate. Fox?
I think if you had somebody decent in midfield that takes that responsibility away from him. I mean, if you're a defensive midfielder, your job's to win the ball and get to people that can do something with it.
But to do that, you've got to be able to read the game, Fox.
No, well, like see even Kanté. You watch Kanté in the World Cup as well, mate. His job is to win the ball and then get to somebody that's going to do something with it. He's not expected to run and make dazzling runs for midfield or 40-yard passes. As soon as Kanté wins the ball, he feeds it away straight away. If McCrory's going to settle into being defensive midfield, be a ball winner, and just when you get the ball, 5-yard pass to somebody that can do something with the ball. And at the moment, we've not got that much of a selection in midfield who's going to take control of the ball. That's my problem. The boy, Ajaira, as I say, looked decent tonight. Looks as though he's got good vision and could probably start to probe with passes. If McCrory wins the ball, you get to Ajaira right away and then you fall back into your position. He doesn't have to go marauding forward or trying to knock fancy balls through to people because he's not got the ability at this time.
Here.
Ulster. We're just critiquing tonight's game. I mean, I like John McCrory. I think he's got a lot of attributes. The heart of a line, mate. Heart of a line. He's got guys there, McAllister, my own manager, Steven Gerrard. They'll be able to teach him how to play midfield, eh?
Yeah, of course they will, mate. But as everybody's already alluded to, he is young. At least, one thing we can say is he's eager. He is trying, maybe trying too much. He's desperate to impress. He wants to wear the Rangers badge. He wants to be in Steven Gerrard's first team. Sometimes, like the other guys have said, maybe just don't do so much. Try to win the ball, try to pass the ball out to somebody else who can do something better with it. Because that's his game is a ball winner. I don't think he's a great passer of the ball. I don't think he can do the big 30, 40-yard passes that Bridge is saying himself. It's just the pass sometimes maybe not to do. But he'll learn from that. And maybe this guy, Koulibaly, coming in, who's already played at a high standard in the French division, the top division in France, hopefully him coming in, who knows that position, will teach McCrory and make McCrory a better player for it. I think McCrory will be a good player for us. It maybe just be if he not get as much game time as maybe he did last season, he maybe be more starting from the bench. But if you're going to learn your trade, how better to learn it off in midfield than the two, McAllister and obviously Steven Gerrard. So, but I think McCrory will maybe just have to bide his time eventually on the bench.
Yeah, I asked Fox earlier on and Rudy about the Candeias thing. 6 months ago, well, maybe 6 months ago, 5-6 months ago, would have said that particular shape we were playing, like that, you would have had Docherty in there instead of Candeias because it's a more a midfield role than a wing role. Is that puzzled you, mate? Oh, we lost Rudy. I'll take that back to Bridge.
Oh, sorry.
That's all right. What were you doing a Bridge?
Aye, a wee bit. I don't see the sense in him playing in there. Did you say? I think you said the boy seems to have dropped down the pecking order a wee bit.
He seems to have done, mate. He seems to have done,
He certainly does that. I liked him when he was at Hamilton. I remember when I think Hamilton beat us 2-0, didn't they, at Ibrox? He was man of the match that day for me. I thought, as much as I hated the fact that we lost to Hamilton at Ibrox, I thought he had an exceptional game. And he was a pretty much a mainstay in the Hamilton side. Big step up though for Hamilton to Rangers, isn't it? So maybe he's no showing Steven Gerrard what he's capable of. Maybe he's no showing though. I watched his interview just recently there. And he was certainly talking a good game, the boy. He's there. He wants to prove what he's capable of doing and all the rest of it. It was a good wee interview the boy done, and I do like him as a player. And it kind of doesn't make any sense to me to have Candeias playing in that position when he's not really a midfielder. It's more a midfield, as you say, more a midfielder's position. So why not have Docherty in there as opposed to try to play somebody who's a winger? Because that's what Candeias is. Try to play him in that position, play Docherty.
Maybe we don't want to play him in Europe in case Real Madrid come in.
Aye, because they're looking for somebody there. Maybe Ronaldo got to come in. Off the Uvi, so maybe they're looking for somebody. We need to be careful.
Aye, they need to watch. We should have never played Candeias.
Aye, I mean, you're asking Candeias to play a position.
No, it doesn't look comfortable there, does he?
Certainly doesn't he? His most productive part of his game is crossing, and he certainly doesn't look like he can do that playing in that midfield position for me. You've got to play him on the right where he's used to playing. He's fairly good at getting the ball into the box, crossing the ball into the box. But then the other side of that coin is you have to get enough players into the box to be made available for the boy when he's crossing the ball. You know what I mean?
Fox is the reason he's playing Candeias in there, because if he moves him up one into the forward and plays him wide right, they're interchangeable, and that doesn't suit Candeias.
I don't really know, mate. It was a strange decision right from the start for to play him in central midfield to the right-hand side of the midfield. I thought that was strange, but obviously he's only keeping the berth warm for somebody else. I heard Rudy saying about the boy Koulibaly. Look, this is another boy that we've never seen. He could be anything. He could be amazing. He could be a total flop. And I wouldn't be building him up and giving him a big reputation before we see him on the park, Rudy. That's my opinion.
I'm not building anybody up, Fox. The reason why I mentioned the boy's name is I'm just talking about new midfielders that are coming in. I don't know anything about the boy. I haven't seen anything of him apart from what I've watched on YouTube. That's it. So I'm certainly not building him up, Fox. My point was, as far as McCrory's concerned, between now and the end of the signing window, the point I was making was you don't know who else they've got up their sleeve. There could be another one or two midfielders come in. You don't know what's going to happen between now and the end of the season. And the other the players that are brought in, i.e. Koulibaly, for instance, who is mainly a central defensive midfielder, apparently, you don't know whether Steven Gerrard, is he going to fancy him over McCrory? That's all the only point I was making, Fox. I wasn't bigging him up or anything because I don't know enough about him, to be honest, you know.
Fair comment.
All right, I've just posted in the lobby again. We give a shout out once again. We're going to get every night while the show's on, right up to the end of August. Any change you've got, any spare checkles you've got, Macmillan Cancer, Old School Blue. We're very on Old School Blue. Is getting rid of his pride and joy, his hair, for a worthy cause, mate. He's shaving it all off for Macmillan Cancer. So the page is there, and if you had it, remember, just give it gladly.
I've never done anything like that, mate, but do you know normally shave your head after you get the funds? Has he no preempted it?
No, he's had some funds and he'll be doing it at the end of August. Mate.
Unless it's just nuts he's got, mate, and he doesn't want to say.
Might be. I've seen him getting ready, mate. He used to take a while sorting that hair out, you know what I mean? And you know me, I'm always ready to go.
That's right. You used to share the room down in Plymouth, didn't you?
Aye, we did, mate. Because none of the twos wanted to share with you.
There's no room in my room.
Aye, there wasn't it, with the trombone players.
Okay, move on.
Can I come in on the Doherty one that you were talking about?
I thought you were going to come in on the trombone players.
No. It's switching it back. I'm following on from some of the discussions we've had very recently, and what Ox was saying, he thinks that young Doherty's dropped down the pecking order. That might be absolutely true, because when you think about, he's playing Candeias in a position that Candeias isn't very good at, by the look of it, and that's a standard midfield, right-sided midfielder, and I just don't see him there either. I think that to try, the manager's thoughts probably are something like, well, let's see if he fits in here. Could be mix and match. We've got players that can play in more than one position. All of these things, and maybe he's finding out that Candeias is a one-trick pony. That he's actually a wide, like call him a wing-back type position. You know, where he can fly up and down the wing, and he knows how to come back and defend a wee bit, and that's it. He's not got anything else. So maybe he's looking for someone that can play wide, or he can play anywhere that the manager wants, and Candeias may not fit that bill. And I think that's what's happened to the young lad. What's his name?
Doherty.
I think that's what's happened to him. He doesn't fit.
Anyway, Bridge, if people want to use a call, talking about tonight's game or anything Rangers related, or praising our own Old School Blue, what's the number?
The number's 014 356 1972.
Where else can you join us, Fox?
On Skype at rangersradio.online.
What can I talk about, Rudy Bear?
Anything and everything to do with the famous Glasgow Rangers.
And who's welcome, Ulster?
Rangers fans only, please.
Love it.
Thank you, mate.
Love it.
Thank you. Alan McGregor. I see the start of the confidence for the defence. Does he just look more comfortable there than Wes does? This is not a critique of Wes. This is just an observation. He just looks cooler. I don't mean as a person. I just mean he just looks more organised. And I seen him bollocking the defence with about 10 minutes to go that I'd never seen Wes do. Is it an asset having somebody his experience back in goal? We'll go down the panel. We'll start with my most experienced. We'll do it age down the way. So obviously we'll start with Fox, then Bridge. Fox, McGregor, an asset for you?
course he is, mate. He's an experienced international goalkeeper. Knows the game outside in, knows the club outside in. So big bonus to have him in the sticks, mate. And you're talking about Wes there, mate. Does anybody know where he is? He doesn't seem to be in any of the training videos. He doesn't seem to be about Auchin the Hummel training centre.
I don't watch it myself, but Big Ulster told me last night after the show he was on Love Island.
Oh, well, that's all right.
That's what Ulster told me, so anybody that watches it, let me know. But no, he's disappeared, didn't he? Disappeared. Bridge, your thoughts on Alan McGregor?
Well, I don't know how many goalkeepers we've got Rangers, but let's say there's 3, and I don't even know if Wes is a number 3, to be perfectly honest with you. But if I was any of these goalkeepers, I'd be thinking of how are we going to get Alan McGregor out, because after that performance tonight, some absolutely superb saves for us, and as you say, marshalling the defence and giving them a bit of stick and so on and so forth. He is good at it. So people can say anything they like. He's a top goalkeeper, a top goalkeeper, absolutely superb. And how the hell anybody's going to get him out, well, I don't know how they're going to do it. And if I was Wes, I'd be thinking I better get myself another club and go.
According to George Nolobi, he could be away by this weekend, make more funds in, more money come in for European ties. Yeah. Obviously, the wage bill with Herrera going away, reducing a bit. The Alves one, so let's see, get a couple of signings in now. Rudy Bear then also on.
Alan McGregor, he knows the club inside out, as Fox says. You know, he's been there, he's done it. You know, he's part of a really good Rangers side, you know, successful Rangers side. You know, he's been doing South. You know, he's done his stuff down there. He was player of the season down there last season. They voted him player of the season. He's an international goalkeeper. He's just head and shoulders, in my opinion, above Wes. You know, and I just, you know, I've not got anything really against Wes. I just didn't have that much confidence. No. That, and I wish Wes all the best. But I think it's quite telling the fact that you've not heard much of him, you haven't seen anything of him in the last sort of couple of weeks. I think that tells you everything you need to know, really. You know, they've still got Anik there, and they've got young Ross, Robbie McCrory still there as well. So there's my 3 goalkeepers. I'm surprised they let the boy Kelly go to Livingston, though, you know, because I rated him. I thought he was a really good young keeper. But, yeah, I mean, as Bridge says, no goalkeeper at the club right now is going to shift Alan McGregor out of that position. It's as simple as that. I love the way, you know, he was letting it with 10 minutes to go, as you said. He was letting the defenders have it, you know, letting them know he wasn't happy. Very vocal, very, very vocal indeed, because he knows his stuff. Simple as that, you know. And that's we never really saw that kind of thing after Wes when Wes was in goal, you know. So I am delighted he's there, to be honest.
Big Ulster.
Well, I think it tells you a lot when the day McGregor came in. I don't think I've seen anybody on this show, anybody in the lobbies, or anybody on media at all of any sort, social media, or my mates or my friends who were saying that he's going to struggle to get in the team. Straight away, everyone was saying McGregor's the number 1. As soon as we made that signing, he's the number 1, and that's what's happened. I think it's because of his experience. He's done everything at Rangers that you have to do to win. He's won cups, he's won trophies, he's won league titles. He's done all sorts, and in Europe as well. He's some magnificent displays. Obviously at Hull as well, fantastic season last season, player of the year. And he's come up this season, he's had 3 clean sheets already. So 2 of them in competitive in Europe. Even it's the shouting at the players is something different, you know, we haven't had with Wes. McGregor just goes mental sometimes, especially when you used to watch him at Ibrox. Per Papac used to be a scared to come far back because McGregor was always in his ear screaming, and that's what you need, somebody vocal back there. And I think what more confidence can you have as a defence with having a quality goalkeeper like Alan McGregor and behind you? I think he's going to be pivotal for us this season. You know, even that last chance, you know, goalkeepers didn't have much to do. But he could, like anyone, maybe a young goalkeeper, sometimes you can just, you know, the game you haven't had much to do, sometimes you can make a silly mistake. But that guy was one-on-one. He opened his body, used his experience and got the save and knocked it round. So Alan McGregor, for me, just a class act. I think we've got 2 or 3 good seasons to come from him.
I think it's improved our team, in my opinion. But just tough to get the midfield and the rest of the team firing we went through that tie and made it a lot easier than we did this time last year. So we've got to be content in some respects, Bridgeman. But for me, I'll go back to my point. Some of the movement was okay, but the passing, we let ourselves down, mate. Looked really rusty.
Yeah, I can't disagree with you. I think, to be honest, we're just continuing on from the tail end of last season when our passing was abysmal at times. And that's what happens. It goes on, it becomes a habit. Nobody's pulled you up about it. The manager doesn't bother too much, and just because you were winning games and you're scoring goals. But overall, particularly from midfield, from defence to midfield, and then through poor passes. And you saw that tonight. It was vivid tonight. It was bad enough last Thursday, but vivid tonight. But I need to say, I'm trying to be as positive as I can. We went through a game. We got a result that I thought we wanted, right? At least a 0-0 draw. I'm happy with it. I'm delighted. We got through and marching on. Rangers are marching on. So here we go.
The reason I didn't want a 0-0 draw. I'm happy we're through the tie, Bridge. I mean that I didn't enjoy watching this tonight, but I'm happy we're through the tie. There's even 10 minutes to go. One mistake, you're right under the cosh, and I thought the way to go was to get a goal ready and then just kill the tie, and they'd have needed 4, and if they'd opened up, we would have scored again, because but we never, because we couldn't get a goal because we're finishing and our front play was very poor.
It was woeful actually at times tonight. I thought, as you say, had we got that third goal, the tie was basically over. But the funny thing is, Bridge, I'm no disappointed in the fact we're obviously through, right? So, right, that's an improvement from last season because we were on here after last season, weren't we? There's lots we can say about that, but that's all right. That's gone now. So that's an improvement for last season with 2 games, 2 clean sheets, couple of goals. It's the manner of the 0-0 draw that I'm more disappointed in. See, we'd have hit the crossbar 3 times and their goalie had pulled off brilliant save after brilliant save. You could come away and say, look, we did everything but put the ball in the back of the net. But it wasn't like that tonight, and it wasn't like that last week either, but more so tonight. We were just, very mediocre for me for midfield forward tonight. The passing, as you said, was dreadful at times. The wrong decisions made. We lost the ball too easily, and they're certainly no stretch of the imagination. Are they a good team? So it's more our performance I'm disappointed in than anything else because I kind of expected a wee bit more than that. I'd have thought they'd have set out to get the goal. Once they get the goal, they're 3-0 up. That's it. The tie's over. They just need to play football, manage the game, a good professional performance. That's us into the next round. We're into the next round. We could have done it just a wee bit better, in my opinion.
Well, so how much is that worth to us then, approximately? Because obviously TV revenue, the 2 games, one on BT, one on Premier Sports, a full house at Ibrox. And then we move forward, hopefully another full house at Ibrox and more TV revenue.
I'd reckon that tie overall was worth about $750,000. Would you agree with that? Maybe not as much as that?
I would say, hopefully maybe so. I don't know if that'd be profit, mate, but maybe be far away.
Why don't we just play with reserves in the SPFL and just win that? Skips us right into the group stages next year, mate,
Aye, good thinking, Fox.
You're just pissing about with that SPFL and you can go another route, is there?
Fair shout, mate. Fair shout. Important, Ulster, finances. I know it's not the be-all and end-all, but it is important.
It's important, mate. If you want to win league titles, Fox doesn't care. He just wants to win Europe. But if you want to win league titles, obviously you have to invest in your side. We just have to look at it last season. We just were not good enough, especially against our rivals. I don't want to get into it too much, but we looked, let's just face it, many footing classes below them. So we've spent good money in the defence. We've already seen improvements, and I think we're going to have to spend again. But like Foxy said earlier in the show, we might have to be patient with these loan signings. It might take us a couple more windows to get where we're going to get to. That's just the way it is. But at Rangers, you don't really normally get much time. We don't have too much patience, but hopefully that's something that we can give the manager. And as long as we see improvements, I think we'll all be happy that we're going in the right direction.
What level would you put them in if you were putting them in the Premier League, mate? What sort of team would you say they were level and standard to? Motherwell, Kilmarnock, don't know about that.
St Mirren.
In all honesty, I don't even think they are an SPFL team, Fox, to be honest with you.
I thought some of them were technically were very good on the ball. You know,
certainly had 2 or 3 players who were pretty tidy. You know, I liked their wee left back. You know, the wee fella went off.
The boy went off.
I liked him, I have to say. You know, so they had 2 or 3 players that were pretty tidy. It has to be said. But for me, they were more like a championship side. In all honesty, you know, certainly the way they played against us in the last 2 legs, anyway, which is all I've seen of them, obviously. They look more like a championship side to me, folks, you know.
Fair enough.
I thought they're better, not to be honest.
You think so, Ulster, eh?
Well, I'm just looking at what this... You know, you look at Scotland, you look at the teams in Europe, they're getting slapped all over the place 9 times out of 10 when they go to Europe. And they're always getting put out of the early rounds. I think Hibs had a decent result there themselves. They've got themselves through. But I think if you look at it more often than not, the Scottish teams don't seem to go too far. And that's the sort of level that they're playing at. I don't think it would be championship level. I don't think it would be probably as good as ourselves. I think we were better over the 2 legs. We are the better team. But I would think teams like Kilmarnock and Motherwell would have struggled big time against that side. I think personally, but it's hard to tell, isn't
it? Yeah, I suppose.
There's also the heat, mate. It's a great level for us. I mean, I think it was still pretty warm. The kick-off time there, Bridge, and it's...
It was about 22 degrees, mate.
No. It was up at the temperature rose above 32, which kicked in for the water breaks. So they were allowed a lot of water break, apparently. So
I didn't see us have a water break, did you?
I think it kicked in. Yeah, so not that it matters a great deal. I thought tonight's game, shall we say, the conditions weren't anywhere near as bad as some teams have to play in. So I think it was a lot cooler than possibly was even expected. And in all probability, our manager would say, "My God, we were training and hotter than that in the south of Spain or something like that," you know, and even in the UK during that very hot period. So. No, I don't think it was too hot for anyone, to be honest.
All right, and so the game's done. We've got a bit more fitness in our legs. So we've got a lot of questions with some answers. The goalkeeper, the 2 centre halves, and arguably Flanagan, but a lot of questions all over the pitch. But will we be better for that game, Bridge, going forward? Because it was a competitive game and rather than having a bounce pre-season game.
Well, it's 90 minutes under their belts. I'm talking about the squad now. Another 90 minutes under their belts playing in the European or the Europa League. So it's great experience for players, great experience. I hope they've learned. I hope they understand when the manager starts getting on to them tomorrow or whenever it gets on to them. I hope they understand why it is. Representative football, it's really tough. You know, you go abroad, it's tough. I'm not saying you've been there, but you go to away games and things like that. It can be tough. So, as far as I'm concerned, our team got us there, got us through. I can't gauge where that team would fit because I think Rangers had probably, maybe 90%, shall we say, advantage for a big chunk of the game last Thursday and probably the same tonight. I think we did very, very well. Very high possession rate for Rangers, I think, maybe in the 60s. So, but obviously the only failure was nose putting the ball in the net. That was all. Other than that, march on. Come on, Rangers, march on. Get improvement. Players have got experience. Do it. Just do it. Yes. Just do it.
We liked that. We liked that, Ulster. Bridge liked that. One guy never.
Oh, Rangers. You got the thing.
You liked it, Bridge, didn't you?
I did. Tommy Steele.
How did it go, Ulster?
I don't know all the words like. I don't know all
just
the words.
how did it go? Bridge will give you a wee cha-cha-cha.
Bridge will, because he didn't hear what the guy was actually singing. Brilliant.
Sorry about that. Sorry, we digress. We digress.
5 past 100 You got me singing the blues. Well, my company scored that fuss. The beggars fought. It was the first of many orange. You got me singing the blues. It didn't take.
Cha-cha-cha-cha.
You like that one, Bridge? You need to learn that for the morning night, Bridge.
Oh, I'll tell you. I like that, actually.
You need to get that going in the court.
That was the 5-1 game, wasn't it? That was it.
Aye, but who sang it originally?
Tommy Steele.
Was it?
Yeah, Tommy Steele and the Cavemen. You got me singing the blues. It was probably an American, may I say.
First of all.
In Britain, yeah. It's probably come from, I don't know, Lee. I don't know who they were.
We're going to see
Hank Williams or something like that. Hank Williams, no. Hank Williams or somebody like that, you know. Somebody like that over there probably sang it.
All right, okay then. All right. Good laugh. Fair play. You liked Ulster, didn't you?
Oh, yes.
All right.
Can we get to one positive we've no spoke about tonight? We're terrific fans, mate.
Brilliant.
Quite the different methods they all use to get to Scoopy, and I was reading a lot in the forum. Some of the boys' journeys have been horrendous, but sure as God, it seems that most of them made it there. And a big thumbs up to all the Bears that made that journey.
Here.
Here. Well said, Fox.
Aye. It's some tech, Fox, you know.
Do you think they'll be sitting in the pub the night critiquing the game, or just getting fully and having a good laugh?
Be having a laugh. Having a sing-song.
That's a huge victory, by the way. That's a huge victory for going away in Europe and coming back with a draw. 0-0. Absolutely fabulous. You're through. Go for it. Relax and enjoy.
We'll be singing the blues.
Absolutely, bud. Absolutely.
They'll be working out where it's worth coming back. Right there for a week.
Can I just say when the games are? It's that the Rangers are playing away from home on Thursday the 26th, which is next Thursday, a week Thursday, and then it's the 2nd of August at home. Just to let you know the dates and that. Who they're going to play, obviously, that's still to be decided on Thursday night.
We know a member on the site, mate, that went to an away game and went missing for 3 weeks, do we know? Interpol and everything was looking for him at the time. You know who that is, Ox?
Yes, I do, mate. I do. I don't comment on that, mate. I don't think that'd be fair to you.
No.
Don't tell me it was Fox.
I'll tell you what, if I was a young man again, mate, there was nothing better than travelling to European games. It was murder today, but it was absolutely fabulous. So the amount of good people you make a lot of good friends when you travel away to see the Rangers, and you have some wonderful times. You know, it's coming home, it's the bugbear, isn't it?
Aye, mate, aye. That's fell in for me, lovely. I'll be in Glasgow on the 2nd of August. There you go. Smashing. So we move on. We start looking forward. We're going to get a lot of speculation now of what linking with players. I see that there's rumours also that Lee Hodgson might be moving at the club, and St Mirren have come in looking at him. Which is surprising because I thought he might have had to go down a level. I don't think he's really cut it in the Premier League, but this is a problem the manager's had. Ulster, he's got to get rid of a lot of these players. We can't have all these players sitting about in the first team that are not getting close to it, mate.
Yeah, well, they're eating into wages. You know what I mean? They're eating into wages and they need to go. You know, it's all right saying we need positions here, there, and left, right and centre, which we do need at times, and we have needed to get. But there's only so much money you can fire out. You know what I mean, the players without getting more recouping as much as you can back in. So if St Mirren are willing to take Lee Hodgson and take a chunk of his wage, I think that's to be welcomed, because I can't see anybody else really, too many clubs out there willing to fund too much for Lee Hodgson. And unfortunately, the wage he's on, a bit like the rest of them, he'll be probably reluctant to move unless he gets the full wage. That's the way players are now, When they're on good contracts, they're more sometimes happy to cling on than they are to actually move and play some football. So if we have to pay a wee bit of his wages, but it helps to take a chunk of it away, I think that's a good thing for the club.
Can I come in on that?
Yeah, on you go, Rich.
If it was me, if I was allowed to, I would tell St Mirren where to go and Alan Stubbs. Absolutely no way would I do any business with that guy ever, if it was me.
No, fair comment, mate. I get where you're coming from with that one, mate. Rudy Bear.
It's so man having players, in the squad, 2, maybe 3 players for each position in the team. But that's what they have to be. They have to be competition for each other. And unfortunately, Lee Hodgson is not that, is he? Really, So the sooner we get him off the wages, the better. I agree with what Bridge is saying. I forgot about that, actually, Stubbs. That's just as Bridge mentioned it there, because I was thinking, that's all right, that's a good thing if St Mirren take him. But Stubbs, I forgot about that. I don't know so much whether maybe I'd like to see Lee Hodgson go back down south again, to be honest, because I don't think he deserves to do any business with Rangers after how he conducted himself, when he was at Hibs. So for me, it's good that we get him off the books, we get him off the wages, or as much as we possibly can. If we get him out on loan, hopefully they pay a chunk of his wages whoever he goes to. I'm not so sure though whether I'm with Bridge. I don't think I'd be doing any business with Stubbs, to be perfectly honest.
Hodgson came in, showed promise at time, but ultimately Trier, Fox, but just no good enough, huh?
Just no good enough. And I agree with what the rest of the boys say about getting them off the wage bill. But what I also think is important is players that have no chance of playing aren't good about the dressing room either. That's how we cliques for them with players that aren't getting a game and things like that. So they can bring them in the morale down in a dressing room. So the quicker you can shift them on, the better. Good luck to Lee Hodgson if he does move on.
No dislike, but just ultimately no good enough, Ulster.
Yeah, this is it. I had high hopes for him, obviously being in Northern Ireland International and stuff. Well, he wasn't getting first team football, but he was always about the squad. And obviously, I always try to canvass for as many Ulster people as we can, to get them involved in the team. But yeah, I have to agree with you. I think the wee bit of blind faith there. I think as you see Lee Hodgson getting more and more game time. When he did get game time, he just didn't show enough. To be honest, he was never going to take that position off Tav. To be honest, or when Connor Goldson came up, or not Connor Goldson, Declan John. Sorry, them two guys on either flank were just a class above him. To be fair, so. But I wish him all the best wherever he goes. I hope he has a good career. I hope he comes better for the international team if he ever gets a chance again in that.
I think there can be quite a lot of comings and goings, and I think there can be some surprises still. People maybe even played tonight could still leave the club before the end of the transfer window. Bridgman. Yeah,
of course. The one came on tonight as a substitute, Andy Halliday, and it's just amazing. Just amazing. The guy's still there, and good luck to him. He's got a contract, so he's entitled to be there. Whether, in fact, the manager thinks he's going to be still there at the end of this transfer window or not, I don't know. And he might be actually doing that. They might be giving him games just to put him back into the limelight again to see if someone will come in and take him. I really don't know. Maybe he does fancy him. Who knows? But it's amazing. There's quite a few. There is quite a few. And one of them, based on the talk tonight and for instance, something on follow as well, that Morelos, maybe one of them gets sent out. And who was it you were saying could be going out on loan? Docherty. You think he'll go away on loan?
Well,
so, there you are.
At the moment, mate, it doesn't look as if the boys near our first team start when Candice is playing his position, mate.
I said it a couple of months ago. As far as I'm concerned, my fear is that we've got another number 29 in our hands with Docherty. That's my fear.
No way attitude, mate. No way.
No. I'm just meaning that we've given them the money, but we're never going to get into it. Really.
Mm-hmm. Well, we'll see where it takes us with a boy. He's only learning his trade.
Mm-hmm.
He done a great interview for RTV, mate. I don't know if you've seen it. Really sensible lad. So hopefully he gets his chance and he can take it and gets back kicking about the first team, even if it takes him to go on loan for a few months. We'll see where it takes him. I wish him all the best. Fox?
Yeah. I think the Mark Allen and Gerrard have done well actually getting rid. I know we've not made any money out of a lot of the players, but a big problem before we came into this season was how we're going to get rid of all these people that were on long-term contracts. Slowly but surely, we've managed to edge quite a few of them out the door. And it was Big Herrera yesterday, so he was one we thought would maybe just stick about for the wages. That's another one out the door. And I think they've done well between them in reducing some of the not wanted in the squad. I think they've done a good job there.
Pretty bear.
There's about 12 or 13 gone out the door so far, I think. So, they've been fairly productive on that side of things.
I was heartbroken when Kenny left.
Here you are, but I bet you're both.
I think Kenny might have scored some of the chances early 2 games that were missed, mate.
Good point, actually, Fox. That's a good point, actually.
But yeah, they've got. I think there's about 12 or 13 of them out the door so far. I mean, in my opinion, there's still some to go. Obviously, that's one thing. It was one of the very first things that was looked at. When Steven Gerrard came in and took all the reins, he said a good look at the squad. He knows who he fancies and who he doesn't fancy. I think as well that there's 1 or 2 players that was playing the right and that played last week that could possibly still go. There's certainly one in particular I would like to see go before the end of the transfer window. But there possibly could be another 2 or 3 out the door before the end of the transfer window. So I agree with Ulster. I think they've done a good job. Long may it continue, and if they're looking to bring players in to bolster the squad, certainly for me, I'd be looking at the midfield. If they get the boy in for Millwall, Jake Cooper, I'd certainly still be looking for a creative midfielder, and definitely we need a centre forward that can score.
Can I just say on that, see the boy that's coming in, Koulibaly? I think he's coming in similar to Murphy, with that condition that let's see how he does, and we'll get an option to buy at the end of the season.
There's been nothing said about that. There's been nothing said about that.
Okay.
Nothing said about that.
Thought I read it.
I've not read. Have you? Anybody else? Ulster?
No, I haven't read anything like that.
No, I haven't seen anything. No, not that I've come across.
Was that Kerryfield Street Bridge?
No, no, that's Fox's theory of expertise.
No.
He knows about that.
No, Bridge.
Kerryfield Street.
What's up with you, Rudy?
Yeah. You get people into trouble, so you would.
You don't know the half of it, mate. You don't know the half of it.
I'm sure.
So, well, we're through. Put it behind us. Obviously, we're looking at maybe when we've had a night's skip, Rudy. We're looking a wee bit better, we're through and we'll start building up to the tie a week on Thursday. Which is great news that the tie's on August the 2nd.
Well, you look at yourself a year ago, this time last year, Ox. What were you like? You were, you weren't happy. Let's put it that way, were you? So
no. I didn't like Kachina for T1, mate. And
no, I know you didn't. I know. There's certainly been improvements since last season. Since the defence has improved for me. I think we having Katic, Goldson, Flanagan, McGregor in goals. For me, that's certainly an improvement on the defence for last season. We went through these 2 games. They haven't scored 2 clean sheets, rather. A couple of goals. We've qualified for the next round. That's the positives for me. I think we have to play better because I think as we go through each qualifying round, it'll be a wee step up in class. You play a better, more organised team. So for me, we have to improve, and we have to improve quite quickly as well. But we're still in pre-season, really. you know. So, and it's come early, these games for us, you know. Had we have finished second, we'd have had a bit more time, but that's not the case. So, onwards and upwards. Look forward to the next game now. Find out who we're playing, and then we take it from there.
I think it's Thursday before we'll know who we're playing. Right, yeah. Okay, gentlemen, we've reached that time of the evening. Bridgeman.
Well, what can I say? Our team got through, as we've said earlier. No goals against us, another clean sheet. Well done, the goalkeeper. Well done, the defence. And I don't find anything wrong with our team at all. We're just wonderful. Can I just say to all the Rangers fans all over the world, particularly Rangers fans on here on Rangers Radio, every single one of us, keep it going for the Rangers.
Can I just thank everybody for taking the time to join us? Big Al for Australia, Bridgeman, Fox, Woody Bear and Big Ulster for phoning into the panel. For everybody listening in the lobby and everybody listens to Rangers Radio and all the other devices and all the other platforms that we use, it's been a pleasure. We're through to the next round. We'll be back tomorrow night between 9 and 11 talking about all things Rangers. Take it away, Fox.
Rangers put 5 past Dean Andrews. Oh, Rangers. You got me singing the blues. Well, my Benny, he scored that first. The Beggars fought, it was the first of many. Oh, Rangers. You got me singing the blues. It didn't take long to realise where the Super Rally equalised. Oh, Rangers, you got me singing the blues. And up stepped Super Ray, it was a 50-yarder all the way. Oh, Rangers, you got me singing the blues. Well, I never felt more like singing the blues. The never was singing the blues. Oh, Rangers, you got me singing the blues. Well, Andrews claimed he could not see when Super Alley made it free. Oh, Rangers, you got me singing the blues. Well, the Ibrox fans, they wanted more, but Kevin Drenko, he made it 4. Oh, Rangers, you got me singing the blues. Well, I never felt more like singing the blues. The Rangers put 5 past Dean Andrews. Oh, Rangers, you got me singing the blues. Well, Ibrox Park, it came alive when the bookmark Walters, he made it 5. Oh, Rangers, you got me singing the blues. Well, Billy McNeil went home that night and he said to his wife that the Celtic are shite. Oh, Rangers, you got me singing the blues. You got me singing the blues.